as I'm redoing a bedroom and a sewing room. And I'm actually moving the master bedroom into a smaller bedroom. And I have so much sewing stuff, machines, you need a cutting table, you know, all of it, into the bigger bedroom. And then I kept a twin bed in there just as a guest room kind of thing. But I was thinking about the light switch covers and the plug-in covers, and I wanted to buy some nice ones, but I was also not wanting to pay the price. So I thought, I've done this before, just get some contact paper, go through what I have, and see if there's something in there that I like. So I've already done the light switch plate in the bedroom. I'll take a picture of that and insert it. But basically, you can use wrapping paper, scrapbook paper, contact paper, whatever you have, whatever you want to use. And it really, you can, you know, customize it or personalize it to the room that you are decorating. So I've got just a little bit of tape here. I have a knife. I'm going to need one pair of scissors. Pencil, pen. I found the pen works better. Now, at first I thought I wanted to use this because I thought the butterflies were cute. But look how big the butterflies are. And so I decided this may not be the best paper for what I want to use it for. So, put that one aside. And then this one, I thought, oh, how cute. I could kind of do a different flower on each plug or whatever. And just do florals in the bedroom. But again, I was running into, they're pretty large, some of them. So, the other one I had is this one. And this paper, what I was originally going to do with this is the headboard I found. Looks like board and batting. And there are 3 rectangles, you know, inset with the batting. So I was going to put this in those 3 rectangles. So I did cut off a corner of this. It was one of these. And that's on the light switch currently. So I thought what I would do is I'm going to need 5 of these in that room. So I'm going to just go around and cut some rectangles. And we're going to use these florals since it'll match the headboard. And literally all I did was rough cut it. I wanted plenty to fold over, so I just took my pen and just drew around it very roughly. Oops. Let me try this one again. There we go. And then again. Okay. I just need a rough idea. Then I can take my scissors. I'm going to cut off this piece over here, and I'll take a look at that. So I can get another one maybe right here. Yeah. And of course I'm going to cut on the inside. Although, even if you had a little bit of that in, remember it's going to fold to the back, so it's okay. And then you can go ahead and, draw those on if you want. I've done it both ways, and I'm just going to do it like this, I think. I'm just going to lay this down. I think it's going to be the best. Now I'm going to cut across the corner. That one a little close, but I think it'll still be okay. The plugins are low on the floor, so or low toward the floor. And then we're just going to fold these over. And although it's contact paper, I still go ahead and put a little tape. I suppose you could glue it, but I just like using tape, so if I ever change them, it's easier than messing with the glue. And this will last forever. When we first moved in, we had a horrible, jagged light switch cover in the kitchen. The electrician had put it too close to where cabinets were going to be installed, and so instead of cutting it down nice and neat, the builders just did a lousy job. It was jagged all up, down one side that went up against the cabinet. And so I ended up covering that switch plate. And 23 years later, it's still there. It still looks good. Now I want to use my blade and just kind of, this one is not a perfect square, so you just want to kind of go corner to corner or whatever feels the most comfortable for you. And then those, oh, didn't go all the way through. I think it did that time. You're going to push those back. Those two will go back pretty flat, but this is curved, so I'm going to go ahead and make a few slits. And then you'll want to fold those back. Now one thing I notice is right here is the hole. So before I do anything with that, I want to go ahead and get it all cut and brought back. And again, I'm going to cut these so that it lays a little bit better. Now I want to just take little pieces of tape and catch those that I've pulled back. Like one piece of tape can catch the tip of both of these. And then one piece will catch these two. Here we go. We're on this side now. And these two. And now, because I want that to stay tight, I'm going to go ahead and put a small piece of tape across where the hole is. And then I'm going to grab, I'm going to use, let me see, that's a pretty small hole. I'll see if the scissors will work. If not, I have an awl that I can grab. Okay. Just give that a little bit of a twist. It doesn't have to be perfect because when you put the screw in and start screwing it, it'll widen as it needs to. So that's really all I need right there. And now you can either just remove that tape or just cut off the extra because my piece was a little bit big. So I'll snip it off. There we go. So, once you have it secured on the back, you can flip it over, and it's so cute. So I'm going to be making, like I said, 5 of these. They'll all match, but be just a little bit different. Some of them are going to be a little bit, you know, mostly the pink, whereas this one you have a little bit, but you see some purples. But you'll be able to tell that it's cohesive and that they all match. So anyway, if you guys hadn't thought of this, it is a very inexpensive way to make those little details pop out. And I will insert some pictures once I'm done. So have a great day, guys.